Hi, second grade. Welcome to math class. Before we begin, we're going to start with a little warm-up. We are going to count by tens from a three-digit number. I chose the three-digit number 207. When we're counting on by tens, it means we're adding 10. When we're adding, that means the number is always going to increase, and we are going to move further away from 0. I started at 207, and you can count along with me as I write these numbers. Before we start, 207 has a 7 in the ones place. This number will never change because I'm counting by tens. The number 0 is in the tens place. This number is going to increase by 110 each time. And then the number 2 in the hundreds place will increase by 100 every 10 numbers because we know there are 10 tens in 100. Are you ready? If I'm at 207, if I add 10, I will be at 217, 227, 237, 247, 257, 267, 277, 287, 297. When I have 9 in the tens place, it gets a little bit more challenging because I can't say 210-7, can I? That's not a number. But if this is a little tricky for me, I can think of this number a different way. I can box the number in the hundreds and tens place, and I can think of this as 29 tens and 7 ones. That still equals 297. 29 tens plus one more 10 is 30 tens, and then I need my 7. So 297 and 10 more is 307. Are you ready to count with me without me writing down? I'm going to start with 307 and we'll add tens. Are you ready? 307, 317, 327, 337, 347, 357, 367, 377, 387, 397. I'm going to give you a little bit of think time. Are you ready? 407. This would be a great activity to practice with moms or dads or the adults in your family or even your siblings at any time. It doesn't have to be during your e-learning math class. All right, let's move on to our lesson. Today's lesson, the learning target, is I can add 2 and 3-digit numbers, which I'm excited to do. We'll be mostly doing it on a number line. All right, if I went to the store today and I saw an item that I wanted to buy that cost $32 and an item that I wanted to buy that cost $247, I would need to add those numbers and find the sum so that I knew how much money I needed. What are some ways that we can do this? We've been practicing, and I know you're so good at it. We could add these numbers using base 10 blocks, right? We could also use a number chart if you had one at home. And we could use my favorite way, the number line. But if we didn't want to use any of those tools, we could also add by place value. Let me show it to you. All right, I'm going to look at 32 and 247. I noticed that 247 is the greater number because it has a number in the hundreds place and 32 doesn't. So I'm going to ask myself, what is the value of the 2 in this hundreds place? I know the value of 200s is 200, right? Now I'm going to look at the tens. I have a 3 and a 4. I know the value is 30 and 40, right? Well, 3 plus 4 equals 7, then 30 plus 40 equals 70. So I'll write 70 here. Now I'm going to look at my ones. I have 2 and 7. 2 plus 7 equals 9. So I can think of 32 plus 247 as 200 plus 70 plus 9 which equals 279. So I would need $279 to buy my items, plus tax, of course. All right. I could also do this same thing on a number line. I'm going to use different numbers this time just to make it more interesting. I'm going to add 25 plus 432 equals. And I'm going to add today on an empty number line or a blank number line. You can call it either one. When I'm adding on my number line, I am always going to start with the greatest add-in. So look at these two add-ins. Which one is greatest? The greatest one is 432. So I will position 432 first. Once I positioned that number on the number line, I've added it. I'm done with it. That's why I crossed it off. Now I need to add 25. I can do it like this. I can decompose 25 into 20 and 5. Okay, I decomposed it by place value. Now I need to jump those numbers on my number line. Some kids will jump 432 plus 20. They'll take a bigger jump, and if you're comfortable with that, go ahead and do it. You could also think of this as you need to jump 2 tens. I know you probably hear my dog in the background. Okay, so I'm going to jump my 2 tens. I like to position my number first. It just makes it easier for me. If I'm at 432, if I add 10, I know that will get me to 442. So I positioned 442, and now I can draw the bridge and show that I jumped 10 plus 10. I've got another 10 to jump, so I'm going to position the next number. 442 plus 10, I know, is 452. So I've added another 10, and now I know I've added 10, 20. Now, all I have to do is add the 5 ones. 452 plus 5, I know is 457. I'm going to position it right here, 457. And that is my plus 5. So my sum is 457. I'll write it right here. I know I've added the correct amount because I can add my jumps. I started at 432 and then I jumped 10, 20, plus 5 more is 25. That's 432 plus 25. I'm going to show really quickly because I know so many of you are so comfortable with this. I'm going to show really quickly down here, hope I don't run out of room, that you could also bridge to 10. I'm going to do the same thing I did. I'm going to start at 432 and I'll erase this here. I positioned 432. Now I'm going to bridge to 10 to make it easier for me to add. If I'm at 432, I know the next 10 is 440. If I jump from 432 to 440, I know I've jumped 8. And then I have to think to myself, I'm going to do it up here so you can see more easily. I've jumped 8. What is the other part that I have to jump? Well, I know 8 plus 17 equals 25, so I still have 17 more to jump. I've jumped the 8. I have 17 more to jump. Now I'm going to decompose 17 into 10 and 7. I'll jump 10. It's so easy. I'm at a friendly number. I'm at a multiple of 10. It's so easy to add 10. 440 plus 10 is 450. And now I just have the 7 left to jump. 450 plus 7 is 457. come up with the same sum, which is good. Can double check my work the same way. I'm going to add 8 plus 7 first. 8 plus 7 is 15, and then I can easily add the 10. 15 plus 10 is 25. I know I've jumped the correct amount. I'll show one more time, one more example, and then you'll be practicing on your own. If I want to jump 45 plus 651, or add 45 plus 651, I need to find the sum. Once again, I'll do it on an empty number line. I want you to think to yourself while I'm drawing this, what number will I position first? Hopefully you told yourself 651 because it's the greatest addend, and why should we make it harder for us? We could get the right answer by positioning 45, but then we need to jump 651 instead of just 45. So I'm at 651, and I know I need to, I positioned 651, so I'm done with it. I'll wait for my dogs. Just part of e-learning from home, isn't it? Might be a little bit. Hopefully you can still hear me. I positioned 651. Now I need to add 45. I'm going to decompose 45 into 40 and 5. Things were going so well. I think when I make my next video, I might have to put my dogs in a different room. There's somebody's delivering something, I think. They're usually pretty quiet, but when there's somebody walking by the house or coming up to the door, it's not so good. All right, hopefully they'll be quieter. I'm at 651. I decomposed 45 into 40 and 5. So I know I need to jump 4 tens. Some of you are comfortable saying, oh, 651 plus 40, I can take a jump of 40. That's going to get me to 691. But if you like to jump your 4 tens, there is nothing wrong with that. You need to do math the way that it works for you in your head. So I'm going to take 4 jumps of 10. 651 plus 10 is 661. I'll take another jump. 661 plus 10 is 671. I'll take another jump. 671 plus 10 is 681. Do I have any more 10s to jump? What do you think? I do, because I've only jumped 3 10s so far, so I have one more to jump, and that will get me to 691. Now I've jumped my 10s. All I have left to do is jump 5 ones. 691 plus 5 is 696. And that's plus 5. So my sum would be 696. I'm going to double check and make sure I jumped 45. I started at 651, and now I'll add my jumps. 10, 20, 30, 40, plus 5 is 45. So I found the sum of 696. You could also bridge to 10 if you're comfortable using that strategy. Boys and girls, I hope that you enjoyed today's math lesson. There will be an assignment, and I can't wait to see, and I know the rest of the second grade teachers can't wait to see your work later on tonight. Have a good day. Enjoy your day of e-learning. Thank you.